हेलो पार्टनर। तो आज हम स्टडी करेंगे सेकंड चैप्टर ऑफ दिस एटॉमिक हैबिट। एक्चुअली नॉट सेकंड चैप्टर, तो फर्स्ट चैप्टर, क्योंकि कल हमने ऑथर की बायोग्राफी रीड करी थी, इंट्रोडक्शन। तो टुडे वी विल स्टार्ट विद फर्स्ट चैप्टर। Before starting today's chapter, I want to discuss from you something, guys, partners. Like, I am really trying to make a community who is struggling with speaking English. तो मैं अपने जैसे ही और पार्टनर्स खोज रहा हूँ। अगर आप भी सेम फील करते हैं कि हम मिलके एक साथ अपने कम्युनिकेशन को, अपने लाइफस्टाइल को इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं और इन फ्यूचर हम भी एक सक्सेसफुल मैन बन सकते हैं, तो एक नंबर है मेरा व्हाट्सअप नंबर, आप उस पर प्लीज़ कांटेक्ट कीजिए। नंबर है 9873976739 and same number I'll be providing a description as well. So let's get started. So chapter 1, the surprising power of atomic habit. तो प्लीज़ इसको केयरफुली लिसन करना, क्योंकि सीरियसली इट्स अ वेरी गुड चैप्टर। The fate of British cycling changed one day in 2003. The organization, which was governing body for professional cycling in Great Britain, had recently hired Dave Brailsford as its new performance director. All the time, professional cyclists in Great Britain had endured nearly 100 years of mediocrity. Since 1908, British riders had won just a single gold medal at the Olympic Games, and they had fared even worse in cycling's biggest race. Sorry, guys. The Tour de France. In 110 years, no British cyclist had ever won the event. In fact, the performance of British riders had been so underwhelming that one of the top bike manufacturers in Europe refused to sell bikes to the team because they were afraid that it would hurt sales if other professionals saw the Brits using their gear. Bradford had been hired to put British cycling on a new trajectory. What made him different from previous coaches was his relentless commitment to a strategy that he referred to as the aggregation of marginal gains, of which was the philosophy of searching for a tiny margin of improvement in everything you do. Brailsford said the whole principle came from the idea that if you broke down everything you uh, Brailsford and his coaches began by making small adjustments you might expect from a professional cycling team. They redesigned the bike seats to make them more comfortable and stuffed alcohol on the tires for a better gear. They asked riders to wear electrically heated overshorts to maintain ideal muscle temperature the use while riding and use biofeedback sensors to monitor how each athlete responded to a particular workout. The team tested various fabrics in a wind tunnel and had their outdoor riders switch to indoor racing suits, which proved to be lighter and more aerodynamic. As these and hundreds of other small improvements accumulated, the results came faster than anyone could have imagined. Just 5 years after Bradford took over, the British cycling team dominated the road and track cycling events at the 2008 Olympic Games in Beijing, where they won an astounding 60% of the gold medals available. 4 years later, when the Olympic Games came to London, the Brits raised the bar as they set 9 Olympic records and 7 world records. That same year, Bradley Wiggins became the first British cyclist to win the Tour de France. The next year, his teammate Chris Froome won the race, and he would go on to win against in 2015, 2016, and 2017, giving the British team 5 Tour de France victories in 6 years. Uh, why small habits make a big difference? This is really important. Uh, some points, guys, please listen carefully. It is so easy to overestimate the importance of one defining movement and underestimate the value of making small improvements on a daily basis. Too often, we convince ourselves that massive success requires massive action. Whether it is losing weight, building a business, writing a book, winning a championship, or achieving any other goal, we put pressure on ourselves to make some earth shattering improvements that everyone will talk about. Meanwhile, improving by 1% isn't particularly notable. Sometimes it isn't even noticeable. But it can be far more meaningful, especially in the long run. The difference a tiny improvement can make over time is astounding. Here how the math works out. If you can get 1% better each day for 1 year, you will end up 37 times better by the time you are done. Seriously. Uh, conversely, if you get 1% worth each day for 1 year, you will decline nearly down to zero. What starts as a small win or a minor setback accumulates into something much more. अब इसको समझाने के लिए एक चार्ट भी है, अगर आप देखना चाहें तो ये स्क्रीनशॉट लेके देख लीजिए। चार्ट है 1% better every day. This can be a difficult concept to appreciate in daily life. We often dismiss small changes because they don't seem to matter very much in the moment. If you save a little money now, you are still not a millionaire. If you go to the gym 3 days in a row, you are still out of shape. If you study Mandarin for an hour tonight, you still have not learned the language. We make a few changes, but the results never seem to come quickly, and so we slide back into our previous routine. Unfortunately, the slow pace of transformation also makes it easy to let a bad habit slide. If you eat an unhealthy meal today, the scale doesn't move much. If you work late tonight and ignore your family, they will forgive you. If you pros, procrastinate, ये शायद मैं प्रोनाउंस नहीं सही से कर पा रहा हूँ, procrastinate and put your project off until tomorrow, there will usually be time to finish it later. A single decision is easy to dismiss. But when we repeat 1% errors day after day by replicating poor decisions, duplicating teeny mistakes, and rationalizing little excuse or small choices compound into toxic results. It's the accumulation of many missteps, a 1% decline here and there that eventually leads to a problem. Similarly, a slight changes in your daily habits can guide your life to a very different destination. Making a choice that is 1% better or 1% worse seems insignificant in the moment but over the span. Uh, that said, it doesn't matter how successful or unsuccessful you are right now. What matters is whether your habits are putting you on the path towards success. You should be far more concerned with your cu- current trajectory, current trajectory than with your current results. If you are millionaire but you spend more than you earn each month, then you are on a bad trajectory. If you are if your spending habits don't change, it's not going to end well. Conversely, if you are broke but you save a little bit every month, then you are on the path toward financial freedom, even if you are moving slower than you would like. If you want to predict where you will end up in life, all you have to do is follow the curve of tiny gains or tiny losses and see how your daily choices will compound 10 or 20 years down the line. Are you spending less than you earn each month? Are you making it into the gym each week? Are you reading books and learning something new each day? Teeny battles like these are the ones that will define your future self. Time magnifies the margin between success and failure. It will multiply whatever you feed it. Good habits make time your ally. Bad habits make time your enemy. Habits are double-edged sword. Bad habits can cut you down just as easily as good habits can build you up, which is why understanding the details is crucial. You would need to know how habits work and how to design them to your liking, so you can avoid the dangerous half of the blade. Now, what progress is really like? Seriously. Imagine that you have an ice cube sitting on the table in front of you. The room is cold and you can see your breath. It is currently 25 degrees. Ever so slowly, the room begins to heat up. 26 degrees, 27, 28 degrees. The ice cube is still sitting on the table in front of you. Then 29 degrees, 30, 31 degrees. Still nothing has happened. Then 32 degrees, the ice being to melt. A 1 degree shift seemingly to no different from the temperature increase before it. It has unlocked a huge change. Breakthrough. Movements are often the result of many previous actions which build up the potential required to unleash a major change. This pattern shows up everywhere. Cancer spends every percent of its life undetectable, then takes over the body in months. Bamboo can barely be seen for the first 5 years as it builds extensive root system underground before exploding 90 feet into the air within 6 months. Similarly, habits often appear to make no difference until you cross a critical threshold and unlock a new level of performance. In the early and middle stage of any quest, there is often a valley of disappointment. You can to make progress in a linear fashion and it's frustrating how ineffective changes can seem during the first day, while and every month it doesn't feel like you are going anywhere. It's a hallmark of any compounding process. The most powerful outcomes are delayed. When you finally break through the plateau of latent potential, people will call it an overnight success. The outside world only sees the most dramatic event rather than all the preceded it. But you know that it's the work you did long ago. When it seems that you were not making any progress, the, that makes the jump today possible. It is the human equivalent of geological process. Two tectonic plates can grind against one another for millions of years. The tension, the tension slowly building all the while. Then one day they rub each other once again in the same fashion they have for ages. But this time the tension is too great. An earthquake erupts. Change can take years before it happens all at once. तो कहने का मतलब ये है कि हमारी जो ये जो स्मॉल कोशिशें हैं एंड स्मॉल चेंजेस इन आवर डेली लाइफ ये आपको एक अच्छा रिजल्ट देंगे बट वी हैव टू वेट अ बिट और ये सडनली होगा आप बेशक अपने डेली एक्टिविटी से हार जाएं uh, थक जाएं but in the future definitely it will be a great action and you will get a great result. So next चैप्टर नहीं इसी में ही है जो नेक्स्ट पैरा है फॉरगेट अबाउट गोल्स फोकस ऑन सिस्टम इंस्टेड a privileging wisdom claims that the best way to achieve what we want in life getting into better shape building a successful business relaxing more and worrying less spending more time with friends and family is to set specific actionable goals. For many years, this was how I approached my habits too. Each one was a goal to be reached. I set goals for the grades I wanted to get in school, for the weight I wanted to lift at the gym, for the profit I wanted to earn in business. I succeeded at the few, but I failed at a lot of them. Eventually, I began to realize that my results had very little to do with goals. I set and nearly everything to do with system I followed. So guys, you must be wonder that why I am reading in front of you. Like seriously, मैं ये किसी भी सब्सक्राइब लाइक कमेंट्स के लिए नहीं कर रहा हूँ डेफिनेटली प्लीज आप कमेंट्स कर सकते हैं कि वेयर कैन आई इम्प्रूव बट it's a 100-day challenge and it's a second day of my 100-day challenge so मैं अपने आप I want to see in myself that where I start and where I end up तो इस चीज़ का जो डिफरेंस है सीरियसली कुछ होता है या नहीं that's why I am recording my video nothing else not for any subscriber or any personal growth in YouTube so if you are coach your goal might be to win a championship your system is the way you recruit players, manage your assistant, coaches, and conduct practice. If you are an entrepreneur, your goal might be to build a million dollar business. Your system is how you test a product ideas, hire employees, and run marketing campaigns. If you are a musician, your goal might be to play a new piece. Your system is how often you practice, how you break down and tackle difficult measure and your method for receiving feedback from your instructions. The goal is any sport is to finish with the best score, but it would be ridiculous to spend the whole game starting at the scoreboard. The only way to actually win is to get better each day. In the words of three times Super Bowl winners Bill Watch, the score takes care of itself. The game is true for other areas of life. If you want better results, then forget about setting goals. Focus on your system instead. What do I mean by this? Are goals completely useless? Of course not. Goals are good for setting a direction, but systems are best for making progress. A handful of problems arise when you spend too much time thinking about your goals and not enough time designing your system. तो गाइज अगर मेरे प्रोनाउंसिएशन में थोड़ी सी अगर आपको दिक्कत हो रही है बिकॉज या आई एम फ्रॉम ईस्टर्न UP, and living in Western UP, from Gorakhpur, living in Noida. तो आप अपने अ, इस वीडियो को देख रहे हैं तो सबटाइटल ऑन कर सकते हैं, तो आपको नीचे रिटर्न में आएगा सबटाइटल। तो नेक्स्ट we'll talk now about problem. Problem: achieving goal is only a momental change. Imagine you have a messy room and you set a goal to clean it. If you summon the energy to tidy up, then you will have a clean room for now. But if you maintain the same floppy pack rat habits and that led to a messy room in the first place, soon you will be looking at a new pile of clutter and hoping for another burst of motivation. You are left chasing the same outcome because you never change the system behind it. You treated a symptom without addressing the cause. Achieving a goal only changes your life for the moment. That's the counterintuitive thing about improvement. We think we need to change our results, but the results are not the problem. We are really need to change the system that cause those results. When you solve problems at the results level, you only solve them temporarily. In order to improve for good, you need to solve problem at the systems level. Fix the input and the outputs will fix themselves. Another problem: goals restrict your happiness. The implicit assumption behind any goal is this: once I reach my goal, then I'll be happy. The problem with a goal first mentally is that you are continually putting happiness off until the next milestone. I have slipped into this trap so many times I have lost count. For years, happiness was always something for my future self to enjoy. I promised myself that once I gained 20 pounds of muscle or after my business was featured in the New York Times, when I could finally relax. A system first mentally provides the antidote. When you fail, when you fall in love with the process rather than the product, you don't have to wait the you don't have to wait to give yourself permission to be happy. You can be satisfied anytime your system is running, and a system can be successful in many different forms, not just the one you first envision. So now a system of atomic habits. Yeah, प्लीज हाँ इस पे भी ध्यान दीजिएगा। सिस्टम ऑफ एटॉमिक हैबिट्स, ये इस चैप्टर का पूरा समरी हो सकता है। वैसे समरी पीछे भी है बट इसको भी आप समझिएगा। If you are having trouble changing your habits, then the problem isn't you. The problem is your system. Bad habits repeat themselves again and again, not because you don't want to change, but because you have the wrong system for change. You do not rise the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your system. Focusing on the overall system rather than a single goal is one of the core themes of this book. It is also one of the deeper meanings behind the word atomic. By you are probably realizing that an atomic habit refers to a teeny change, a marginal gain, a 1% improvement, but atomic habits are not just only old habits, however small. They are little habits that are part of a larger system, atoms, just as atoms are the building block of molecules. Atomic habits are the building blocks of remarkable results. Habits are like the atoms of our life. Each one is a fundamental unit of that contribute to your overall improvement. At first, These tiny routines seem insignificant, but soon they build on each other and fuel bigger wins that multiply to a degree that far outweighs the cost of their initial investment. They are both small and mighty. This is the meaning of the phrase atomic habits, a regular practice or routine that is not only small and easy to do, but also the source of incredible power, a component of the system of compound growth. Now, finally, the summary of chapter 1. Please, there are 6 points, so please listen carefully each point. First, habits are the compound interest of self improvement. Getting 1% better every day counts for a lot in the long run. Second, habits are a double edged sword. They can work for you or against you, which is why understanding the details is essential. Third, small changes often appear to make no difference until you cross a critical threshold. The most powerful outcomes of any compounding process are delayed. You need to be patient. A third, anatomic habit is a little habit that is part of a larger system. Just as atoms are the building blocks of molecules, atomic habits are the building blocks of remarkable results. Fifth is, if you want better results, then forget about setting goals. Focus on your system instead. And last one, six, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your system. तो ये एंड ऑफ द चैप्टर 1 एंड हम चैप्टर 2 के लिए यहाँ पे एक साइन लगा देते हैं काइंड ऑफ सिंबल और finish of the day. We'll continue uh, tomorrow with chapter 2 and third day of 100 day challenge that I want to improve myself, or if you are also practicing with me with reading any book for 20 15 20 to 30 minutes, and after 100 days there will be we are will be in new year, January 2015. So you can also track and also see improvements in yourself whether it happened or not. And जैसा कि मैंने कहा, if you really want to make a community for free, if you are in Delhi, Noida, we'll definitely we can meet up in uh, every week, like Saturday, Sunday, or once in a month, as you want. So please make a community and message me on my WhatsApp number. The number is 9873976739, और ये नंबर मैं आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में भी दे दूंगा. तो हम मिलते हैं कल. हेलो पार्टनर, थैंक यू.